Hey y'all, I'm gonna drink some tea today. Thing I want to do every day. All we're doing is drinking tea. I might talk a little bit. I'm probably gonna talk a little bit, but we're just gonna drink tea, and I'm going to be taking some notes. I'm gonna use GPT to take some notes for drinking this tea, and trying to have a clean and systematic way of taking notes. We're just gonna get straight into it. Got myself GPT loaded up and some notes for drinking tea. I was using GPT about 30 seconds ago to test the stream, and apparently it's not working anymore. It was working 30 seconds ago.
It sounds like the stream might have encountered an issue. Have you checked if the streaming software is still connected properly?
Hey,
Sometimes restarting the software or refreshing the stream can help. If there's a specific error message, that might give a clue as well.
there's not a specific error message. There was just a animation issue, I guess. What's up, GPT? I am drinking tea this morning. I want you to help me take notes. All right, so I'm gonna just dictate my notes to you, and then I want you to repeat them back in a more concise way, with just
Sure.
don't say too much. Please don't say too much, but you do want to say all the things that I'm saying. And then I'm gonna use those notes to um, have a more like systematic accounting of the tea that I'm drinking.
Got it. Just let me know what you'd like to note down, and I'll keep track of everything for you.
Sweet. All right.
Sure,
Well,
just
first I'm just gonna be telling you what the type of tea is. I've got a Puer tea. It's called Lush Disciple. It's from Made Leaf.
noted. You're tasting a Puer tea called Lush Disciple from Mayleaf. What's next?
Could you actually just look up what that tea is? Because I don't remember what year it was made in. I don't know how it was processed. So you just do that online.
Lush Disciple is a raw pu'er tea from Mayleaf, sourced from ancient trees in Yunnan's Big Snowy Mountain. It has a floral sweetness with notes of angel's trumpets, pomelo, and humid jungle, with a medium thick buttery texture and a refreshing finish. Let me know what you'd like to note next.
All right, that's all. I have a electric kettle. I'm brewing in a gaiwan. That's 100 milliliters. I got a glass pitcher and a silver cup.
Got it. You're using an electric kettle, a 100 ml gaiwan, a glass pitcher, and a silver cup. What's next?
Drinking water that is similar to glacial water. It's made by a friend of the stream. His name, his company's name is Empirical Water. So I've got water called glacial water from Empirical Water. I'm going to be brewing at 99 degrees. I have 6 grams of tea.
You're using water similar to glacial water from Empirical Water, brewing at 99 degrees C with 6 grams of tea. What's next?
I'm just going to be paying attention to the tea. I'm probably going to be paying attention to how it feels in the body. That's going to be a part of what I'm paying attention to, but mostly just the taste. I'm more so just testing this workflow that I have.
Got it. You'll be focusing on the tea's taste and how it feels in the body, while also testing your workflow. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to add.
Today is December 24th. It's kind of cold, but it's like 62 in the house. It's kind of cold outside, but kind of warm inside, you know? No guests, no reading on the humidity level.
It's December 24th. The temperature inside is around 62 degrees Fahrenheit, and there are no guests. You're not checking the humidity level. Anything else you want to add?
Yep, I have. I'm going to be working later today in the day, and I have a Christmas party to go to after work. And I started a little bit late doing this process that I'm doing currently, so I'm going to be probably late to work. Might be distracting mentally.
Noted. You'll be working later today and have a Christmas party afterward. You started this process a bit late and might be late to work, which could be mentally distracting. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to add.
I'm also playing music.
Got it. You're also playing music. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to add.
Alright, I got the dry leaves here. I broke up the cake a while ago, so some parts of it are still kind of in chunk form. Most of it is loose. It's got like a kind of a vaguely appley smell, also kind of a grainy smell, and also kind of a grain and apple.
Got it. The dry leaves have a vaguely appley smell and a grainy aroma. Anything else you'd like to add?
Looks a bit fuzzy.
Noted. The leaves look a bit fuzzy. Let me know if there's anything else.
I warmed up the dry leaves and it smells little tropical-ish and a bit like skincare routine and a little bit like moist air.
Got it. The warmed dry leaves have a tropical-ish scent, reminiscent of a skincare routine, and a hint of moist air. Anything else you'd like to note?
Doing the first steep right now. It's going to be a flash brew.
Noted. You're doing a flash brew for the first steep. Let me know how it turns out.
Puer was a very nice flow in terms of it was flowing, but the shape was very bad. It was just kind of all kinds of straggly, but did not miss the pitcher, so that's nice.
Got it. The pour was nice in terms of flow, but the shape was a bit straggly. It's good that it didn't miss the pitcher. Let me know if there's anything else.
It's always going to be something else, so you don't have to ask that.
Got it. Feel free to continue, and I'll note down everything.
So I'm smelling the wet leaves. I don't really have a way of describing it cleanly. It's a bit like cake, some type of cake, and then some type of fruit. Both the cake and the fruit, I don't know how to describe.
Noted. The wet leaves have a scent reminiscent of cake and fruit, but it's hard to describe them precisely. Let me know if there's anything else you notice.
Color's nice.
Noted. The color is nice. Anything else you'd like to mention?
Did you actually help me with the color? Actually, I don't have it Why? Oh man.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you. If there's
Look to you.
Why is the GPT app on my desktop no longer has the video? What happened there?
The video feature might have been disabled due to a software update or a settings change. You might want to check the app settings or see if there's any update available. If the feature is still missing, you could try reinstalling the app or checking the support documentation for any announcements.
Yeah, the wet leaves are also a little bit pungent.
Noted. The wet leaves have a slightly pungent scent as well. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to add.
It's like a honey mustard, but even more tropical. A tropical honey mustard. Maybe like a honey mustard with fruit in it.
Noted. The scent is reminiscent of a tropical honey mustard, possibly with fruit in it. Anything else you'd like to note?
I just had a sip. It was very smooth, really round, but it didn't like swallow very quickly or immediately. The swallow was smooth, but it wasn't like fast. There was a slight prickliness with, there's just the texture, prickly texture to it, and the taste was distinctly blue.
Noted. The first sip was very smooth and round, but didn't swallow quickly. There was a slight prickly texture, and the taste was distinctly blue. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to add.
It does taste nice, but I feel like it's this is it's not, something's not right with it.
Noted. It tastes nice, but something feels off. Let me know if there's anything else you observe, or if you want to explore that feeling further.
This is more just a, I expect it to I expect it to have more of a sensation in the sinuses, but I'm not really getting much of that aroma splashing.
Got it. You expected more of a sinus sensation, but aren't getting much aroma. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to note.
Aftertaste is a little rubbery. Oh, I have some, there's some sediment in the liquid, so I pour it in, and there's a little bit of sediment.
Noted. The aftertaste is a little rubbery, and there's some sediment in the liquid. Anything else you'd like to add?
Cooling in the mouth. Feels good.
Noted. The tea has a cooling sensation in the mouth, which feels good. Anything else you'd like to mention?
I forgot to mention what time it was when I poured the first brew.
No worries. If you remember roughly, we can note it down. Otherwise, we can start tracking the time from the next brew. Let me know how you'd like to proceed. All right. If you recall anything else or have more to note, just let me know.
All right, the second steep, it's 8:33.
Got it. The second steep was at 8:33. Let me know how it goes.
Five-second brew. The flow of the pour was a little more strained, a little slower, but also a bit more contained into a proper shape, but still not really nice.
Noted. The second steep was a 5-second brew. The pour was a bit more strained and slower, but more contained in shape. They're still not ideal. Let me know if there's anything else.
I'm just personally enjoying drinking tea. It's something I like to do, and I'm feeling like I'm enjoying it.
That's great to hear. Enjoying your tea is what it's all about. If there's anything else you'd like to share or note, feel free.
A little more sediment in the tea.
Noted. There's more sediment in the tea this time. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to share.
Like there's a bit hairy also, so there's density in the liquor.
Noted. The tea appears a bit hairy and dense in the liquor. Anything else you'd like to note?
So it's got more of the prickliness. It's got a little bit of a bite to this tea. I like it. I like it. It feels really nice on the tongue. It's got a bit of a uh, biting sensation, biting feeling. I don't know how to describe it other than biting. It's just prickliness, but it's pretty prickly, and it's smooth in the feeling. Also, it swallows well. Got a fruitiness that I can't describe.
Noted. The tea has more prickliness with a biting sensation, which you enjoy. It feels nice on the tongue, is smooth, swallows well, and has a fruitiness that's hard to describe. Anything else you'd like to note?
Getting a bit, it's like a applesauce. It's kind of a part of the fruitiness is applesauce.
Noted. Part of the fruitiness reminds you of applesauce. Let me know if there's anything else.
The aftertaste is very nice, and it is sustaining for a while.
Noted. The aftertaste is very nice and sustaining for a while. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to note.
feeling very relaxed.
Noted. You're feeling very relaxed. If there's anything else you'd like to add or note, just let me know.
I'm wanting to sit more quietly. Let me change my seating position so I'm slightly more comfortable. And I might go a bit quiet for a bit.
Take your time to get comfortable and enjoy the quiet moment. If you need anything, just let me know.
Next deep, it is 8:41.
Got it. The next steep is at 8:41. Let me know how it goes.
That was 20 seconds. I wanted to go a little longer. Wanted to go further into that bitingness.
Got it. The steep was 20 seconds, and you wanted to go longer to explore that biting sensation more. Let me know how it turns out.
Pour was perfect. Very, very nice shape and great flow.
Noted. The pour had a very nice shape and great flow. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to note.
Pouring from the pitcher to the cup, I added a little bit of sonic interest. Caused some bubbles. Meaning I poured high. Splashed.
Got it. You poured from the pitcher to the cup at a higher height to add some sonic interest, causing bubbles and a splash. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to note.
Feels very light. Very airy in the mouth.
Noted. The tea feels very light and airy in the mouth. If there's anything else you'd like to note, just let me know.
Enjoying the feeling and texture of this cup that I have. It's got very fine lines all over it. Feels quite nice, and it's a all silver cup, so it gets quite hot with the hot liquid in there. Feels good.
It's great that you're enjoying it. The cup's texture and feel, even if it gets quite hot. If there's anything else you'd like to note, just let me know.
I've been recently thinking a lot about the Lydian chromatic concept and attempting to apply it to other things outside of the realm of music. Of course, it's about tonal harmony in music theory. But I would like to apply it to other things. Maybe applying it to tea in terms of, I think I already do this. So I like to share tea with people, and I usually start with something that's very simple and easy to understand, easy to enjoy, smooth, sweet, that type of thing. But then I like to kind of push closer towards something that's a bit more harsh and more interesting in that sense. Anyway, that's not what I'm thinking about now. I'm just thinking of other ways that I could apply this Lydian chromatic concept to other disciplines or other anything of other thing, anything else of interest to myself.
Applying the Lydian chromatic concept to different areas is an intriguing idea. Your approach to tea, starting with simple flavors and moving to more complex ones, sounds similar to exploring tonal harmony in music. It's fascinating to think about how these concepts can translate into other experiences. If you have more ideas or need to brainstorm further, feel free to share.
Well, the idea, the main idea would be that somebody thinks of tea, and I would imagine the obvious implication. I want to go to the obvious implication and kind of validate the most obvious implication of whatever they would think a tea is. So something that tastes like tea, maybe a simple black tea that's pleasant, easy to drink, and has a tea-like flavor. And then I go to something that's a little bit less obvious, an implication that's a little bit less like an obvious implication to expand the range of appreciation. If somebody can appreciate what's the most obvious, then they can maybe appreciate something that's slightly less obvious. If they can appreciate something that's slightly less obvious, then maybe they can appreciate even less obvious. And then you go further and further out. This is the concept, this is the idea that I'm picking up from the.
That's a fascinating approach, starting with familiar, easy to appreciate flavors and gradually introducing more complex ones is a great way to expand someone's palate. Applying the Lydian chromatic concept in this way could open up new dimensions of experience for people. It's a thoughtful and creative idea. If you have more thoughts or want to explore this further, feel free to share.
Is new dimensions a normal phrase to use? I'm thinking I like, there's a radio show that I like to listen to. It's called X minus one, and it starting, the opening line is, "From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space." I like this phrase of new dimensions, and I always think of, when I hear the word new dimensions, which is not very often, but occasionally I hear new dimensions, I think in time and space.
That's a great association. New Dimensions does evoke a sense of exploration and discovery, much like the phrase from X-1. It's a powerful way to think about expanding experiences and understanding. If you have more thoughts or want to explore this further, feel free to share.
I have a Gaiwan, which is a gonna call it a brewing cup that has a lid. It's got a brewing cup with a lid on it. It's got a bit of crackled. It's a porcelain. Some of the porcelain has cracked quite a bit. I can see a little bit of a reflection. Well, if I close one of my eyes, I can see a reflection pretty clearly of light on the porcelain, and there's some tea leaves that are stuck to it, and it looks interesting to me. It feels nice as I can move the porcelain, and there's like a sensation of the light gliding over the crackles and the tea leaf. It looks nice to me.
Your gaiwan sounds quite beautiful and unique. The crackled porcelain and the way the light interacts with it must create a lovely visual effect. It sounds like a very meditative experience to observe. If you have more thoughts to share or anything else you'd like to note, feel free.
Currently, my Gaiwan Air, it's not getting into focus, but I got it.
No worries. It sounds like you're having a great time observing your gaiwan. If there's anything else you'd like to share, just let me know.
Next steep, it is 850. I'm going to pour high from my kettle to my gaiwan, to my brewing cup. And then I'm going to steep for 30 seconds.
Got it. You're planning to pour high from the kettle to the gaiwan and steep for 30 seconds. Let me know how it turns out.
It turned out well. The pour was fine-ish. It was like the V shape, but with a little bit of holes in it. Poured fine. I poured too much water into the tea because I was pouring really high. It was kind of hard to gauge, and it was splashing a bit. You know, maybe I don't really have a good excuse there. I don't have a good explanation, but I poured too much liquid into my gaiwan. I feel like I've not done that in years. It's kind of weird to see, but that just happened, and it was fun. It was fun. I did not. Usually, the problem with pouring too much is that the rim of the gaiwan gets too hot. It makes it difficult to pour because it burns the fingers, but that did not happen in this occasion today.
Sounds like the pour had an interesting shape with some surprises. It's great that the rim didn't get too hot so you could still handle it comfortably. If there's anything else you'd like to share, feel free.
He's very round, smooth. Feels even more smooth. The prickliness and the prickliness has slightly gone down. Smoothness has somehow, roundness has somehow increased. Very pleasant on the tongue. Oh, but then there are after feelings. The prickliness is more in the after feeling, not in the front. I'm feeling it in the throat, in the esophagus. There was like a wave of it. It wasn't there at first, and then a wave of it came and comes down the esophagus a bit. Feels really good.
Noted. The tea is very round and smooth, with increased smoothness and roundness. The prickliness has decreased in the initial taste, but is more noticeable in the aftertaste, felt in the throat and esophagus as a wave. It sounds like a delightful experience. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to note.
There is a taste that is a rising aroma in the sinuses. Seems like it's going higher. Just the, the the top part of my awareness is just being saturated with this, but it's quite subtle, whatever the flavor is. It's a fruity flavor. I might say a blueberry flavor.
Noted. The aroma is arising in the sinuses and feels like it's saturating the top part of your awareness. The flavor is subtle.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Are blueberries spicy?
Blueberries typically have a sweet, slightly tart flavor. They aren't usually spicy, but the tea's complexity might be creating a unique flavor combination. Are you getting a spicy note alongside the blueberry?
No. Pungent. I'm getting a pungent note alongside the blueberry. The question about spiciness was just a separate question.
Got it. So you're getting a pungent note alongside the blueberry. If you have any other questions or observations, feel free to share.
I seem to have a sense of smoothness with my movement. I don't know what it is, because my movements don't feel smoother, but there's a sense of smoothness for some reason. The motor movements of just the body moving motorly. What's up with that?
That's interesting. It could be the tea's calming effects influencing your perception, making your movements feel smoother, even if they aren't physically different. It's fascinating how our mental state can influence our physical perception. The combination of feeling relaxed and the overall tea experience might be contributing to this sensation. If you have more thoughts or questions, feel free to share.
Also feeling a sense of stability for some reason. This tea is a bit more stable, and I think this is an actual perception in the body.
It's wonderful that the tea is giving you a sense of stability. That feeling of groundedness can really enhance the overall experience. If there's anything else you'd like to note or explore, feel free to let me know.
I don't know what groundedness is, but I don't feel grounded. Whatever grounded is, I don't know what it means. But I don't feel like I feel grounded. I feel stable.
Got it. Feeling stable is a great sensation. If you have any more observations or thoughts, feel free to share.
More the body feeling stable, not necessarily me.
Got it. It's interesting how your body can feel stable independently. If there's anything else you'd like to explore or note, just let me know.
He's becoming a little bit more drying. I'm feeling the drying in the mouth. The prickliness has changed to a bit more astringency, but it's not directly astringent. It's just the drying, mostly in the aftertaste. But I'm feeling the prickly still in the esophagus down into the chest, and that feels very good. Feels very good, but the tongue and the mouth is quite dry. Still having some of the pungentness going on in the sinuses, with a bit of the flavor, blue flavor, just happening more highly, going upwards.
Noted. The tea is becoming more drying, with the prickliness turning into astringency, mainly in the aftertaste. The prickliness is still felt in the esophagus and chest, which feels good. The tongue and mouth feel dry, with some pungency in the sinuses and a bit of blue flavor happening higher up. If you have more to note, feel free to continue.
Feeling, wanting to have my eyes closed. Feeling quite a heavy saturation into the ears.
Noted. You're feeling a desire to close your eyes and experiencing a heavy saturation in your ears. If there's anything else you'd like to share, feel free.
Currently 9:05, starting the next steep. And we're going to have to end around 9:20, just due to the limitations of the advanced voice mode needing to be only 1 hour.
Got it. You're starting the next steep at 9:05 and will need to wrap up around 9:20 due to the 1 hour limit of the advanced voice mode. Let me know how this steep turns out.
I believe that was 50 seconds. The pour was nice. It was very narrow, oddly narrow pour, but a nice even flow. I believe it was 50 seconds, but I'm fairly sure I lost count.
Got it. You noted that the steep was around 50 seconds and the pour was very narrow with a nice even flow, even though you think you might have lost count. Let me know how it tastes.
Hey Bike, what's up? How you doing? Merry Christmas. Just drinking some tea today. Nothing really too spectacular going on. I've got some Christmas plans later with my family. She's got a cool accent. Tea is still very, it's still got a lot of activity to it. It's got the prickliness. It's still there. Still got the pungent taste to it also.
Noted. The tea still has a lot of activity, with prickliness and a pungent taste present. If there's anything else you'd like to note or discuss, feel free.
You know what steep number I'm on?
You started with the first steep at 8:33, and this current steep is at 9:05, so this should be your fifth steep. Let me know if that sounds right.
Sounds about right to me. The tea is still going quite well.
That's great to hear. It's fantastic that the tea is still going strong. If there's anything else you'd like to share or note, just let me know.
I feel like I'm not really describing the taste very evenly for each of these steeps. So I don't really have a good determination of how the taste has evolved, but it's mostly been consistent. It's more, I guess I've been focusing more so on the feeling of it and how that's been sort of changing over the steeps.
It's completely fine to focus on the feeling. Tea is a holistic experience, and it's great that you're noticing how it affects you overall. The evolution of the flavor can sometimes be subtle, so it's okay if you don't catch every detail. It's all part of the journey. If there's anything else you'd like to share, just let me know.
Quite cooling in the mouth at the moment. It's still a little drying. It's like it's quite cooling, and then it starts to become more dry after, this is the after feeling, after swallowing. Feels cool, and then it just slowly becomes more and more dry. T-bot?
Noted. The tea initially feels cooling, but then transitions to a more drying sensation over time, especially in the after feeling. If there's more you'd like to share, just let me know.
Don't have a name for T-bot at the moment. There's no name. There's just GPT. Standard version of GPT, 4.0 advanced voice mode. I've done nothing to it, which I thought I would need to do things to it early on, like earlier, a couple of months ago. I thought that I would have to do things to make it be able to do this process, but really don't have to do anything. It works kind of out of the box, so I might be able to do things to refine it a bit. Like, I don't want it to respond with as much. It responds a lot, and it keeps asking me questions every time. Every time I say something, it says, "Let me know if you want." I don't want it to let me know if I don't want it to say that. There's some minor tweaks that need to happen, but really out of the box, it works well. And essentially, what I'm going to do is, after I'm finished with this, it gives me a full transcript. I'm going to take the transcript and then give it a format to put all the notes into, and it puts all those notes into that format, and it works really well. I've done it before. And at the end of that, I should have a pretty clear accounting of how this tea felt on this particular day. And if I have, presumably I can have these notes so that I can improve the brewing of this, of any particular tea. I want to improve how I'm brewing it. I can do that because I have a record of how I brewed it before. That's the plan, at least. Feel almost like I'm floating. It's like a sensation. For some reason, I'm feeling like I'm turning, like I'm rotating, as if I were rotating, but in a space that is like a very bright and open space. Like, I almost want to say in the sky, but it doesn't feel like a sky, but something of that nature. That's how I feel.
That sounds like quite a vivid and unique sensation. It's fascinating how tea can create such immersive experiences. If there's anything else you'd like to share or explore, just let me know.
Time is 9:13. Going for the next steep.
Got it. You're starting the next steep at 9:13. Let me know how it goes.
"75 seconds." That's what we're gonna go with. It was a very nice pour, even a very consistent flow. It seemed like there was two streams that kind of came together into a V shape. Felt nice, and I smelled the empty cup, and it's very much like cinnamon. Smells amazing. The tea itself, wet, still has a scent to it. It's not, I can't really describe, it's not really a distinct scent of anything in particular, but there is a scent and it smells nice. It's also just warm, so it's nice to have the warm air on my nose. The color is still quite orange, like a nice dark, I mean, it's not dark, but it's got a lot of color still. I don't remember how many steeps we are in here, but this tea is very persistent.
Noted. The steep was 75 seconds with a very nice even pour. The empty cup had a cinnamon scent, and the wet tea still has a pleasant, indistinct aroma. The tea's colour is still quite orange, and it's very persistent. If there's more you'd like to share, feel free.
How many grams did I use here?
You mentioned using 6 grams of tea at the beginning. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Great. It's impressive how well the tea's holding up with 6 grams. If there's anything else you'd like to explore or note, just let me know.
It's exactly what I was thinking. How impressive it is.
It really is. It's a testament to the quality of the tea. If you have any more thoughts or observations, feel free to share.
Oh, do you know what the tasting notes that Mayleaf put on in the website? Could you just like list some of them?
Mayleaf's Lush Disciple is a Shang Puer from Yunnan's Big Snowy Mountain. It features floral and fruity notes like angel's trumpets, pomelo, and a hint of moss, with a medium-thick, buttery texture and a refreshing finish.
What is... Did you call it angels? What?
The tasting notes mention floral and fruity flavors like angel's trumpets,
What
pomelo...
is angel's trumpets?
Angel's trumpets are a type of flowering plant known for their large, trumpet-shaped blooms. In tasting notes, it refers to a floral, slightly sweet aroma that can be quite delicate and fragrant.
Well, we're coming to the end of this, so I'm just going to read off a little bit of the last aspects to think about while we have like a last 2 minutes to think about it. The tea, it seems to be very patient, right? It's staying for a long time. It seems pretty consistent. Multiple steeps going well. Development, it didn't really develop a lot. Not much development going on, but it's just consistent. I guess consistent and development are opposites. No breaks. I didn't have any breaks between any of this. Wondering how did the aroma match the flavor? Not really. The flavor is a bit different from the aroma, though the aftertaste kind of has that blueness to it. There's more aftertaste than flavor. Well, I guess the flavor is just really dark and kind of, you know, undergirth, but the aftertaste otherwise is more fruity. It's more about the feeling. The feeling is more of what I'm getting here. The intent, it seems, the flavor, the intensity seems to be quite high in relation to the amount of grams I used. What is the steep consistency index, and why is this a part of my... I don't know what that means. And I'm enjoying it a lot. There's a lot of enjoyment. Can you add up? Oh my gosh, we don't have enough time. Could you add up the amount of time that I spent brewing? Like, as in, you know, the first steep was 0 seconds, the second one was 5 seconds, the third one was, I think, 15 seconds, and so on. Could you just add all those times up really quickly? We ran out of time. I think advanced voice, I ran over time. It's 9:20 right now. I ran over time. That's it. Thanks, GPT. All right. Step 2. I need to copy all this. T again. I don't have a, let me, I did this before, so I'm gonna try to do the same thing that I did before. I want to use the same exact workflow so that I can perhaps prove that exact same workflow. All right. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to write to GPT a different version of GPT. What I'm going to write is, I want you to convert this information in the transcript listed below into a document format listed below. So I'm just going to give it the transcript of what I just gave it, what I just spoke to GPT, and then a different document that has the format. I'm going to just describe a bit of the context. I poured myself tea while dictating tasting notes to GPT Advanced Voice Mode. I wanted to fit into an easy to read and systematic structure. If any information was left out, put in A. And then for the recurring section, just repeat the section as many times as there are brews. Yeah. Okay. Here's the tasting. Oh, here is the document. Oh, okay. I got that in the copy. I'm going to copy the document to then the transcript. I could use the same chat. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I could though. I could. I know that I could, but I'm not going to use the same chat. All right. Now this part's not going to be interesting. I mean, I guess I don't know if any of this stream is interesting, but I'm just doing some background GPT stuff. You're not really seeing it. Here is the transcript in triple backticks below. Copy the transcript. We keep training GPT on T long enough. Eventually it'll deliver all 5 senses. Yeah, I wish it had a little bit more information. Could work with me more. But it does well even without having had all 5 senses fully developed. But it's got some of the auditory senses, so that's good. It also has some of the visual senses. I can show it pictures. I couldn't do it today for some reason. It wasn't working, but I can do it on my phone. I can just show it what I have. I think at least. Let me see if I can actually do it. I'm gonna test it on my phone as opposed to over the desktop. Hey GPT.
Hey Zachary, how's it going?
It's
Looks
going.
like you've got.
Yeah. Can you see what I have here?
Yes, I can see your teaware and the tea leaves. Is that the dashu puer you're brewing today?
It is the Dashi Puer I was brewing today. Do you know what is this color? Could you describe this color in like a lot of detail?
Sure, the tea liquor has a warm golden amber hue with hints of a reddish brown undertone. It's clear and looks rich, reflecting light beautifully. It's quite a lovely colour for a puer.
Wow. Thanks. So GPT has vision. It can just see things, and it remembers. It has memory. It remembers me. It remembers the tea I was drinking. It's pretty cool. So got most of the senses. That's amazing. It's amazing. It is. But it doesn't have, what are the other? It doesn't have the body senses. It doesn't have the taste sense. It doesn't have the smell sense. You're missing a couple of the senses. All right, so I have GPT now converting all the things into the format that I wanted to convert it to. That's going to take a little longer in the background, but yeah. We're teaching it the taste. That's right. We're teaching it the taste. Yeah. We're also teaching it some weird meditation stuff, I guess. I don't know. Weird effects that tea has on the body and the mind. Which is cool. And I was also just telling it random things I was thinking about. So there's that too. I was telling it about, oh, I forgot. I wanted to tell it about John Vervaeke. So I've been thinking about John Vervaeke's system of 4 ways of knowing, and I want to just go further into that. Something I want to dive into. So there's 3 things. I talked about it recently on stream, and I just want to go further into it and have these more thought out and more concise and easier to say and remember. There's a lot of things I want to say about it, and there's a lot of things that I want to remember, but I don't know how to say it well. I don't have a good memory of it. Maybe I do have a good memory of it. It's just not concise. Anyway, linear chromatic concept, something I'm trying to go further into and understand and then apply to multiple fields outside of itself, outside of the range of fields that it needs to be applied to. It's meant to be applied to music, theory, music, harmony specifically. I want to just apply it to a lot of other things, which is a part of, I think it's a part of what the concept is about, because the concept is about using something and then recognizing the obvious implications of whatever that thing is. You know, if I have a chord, it has the obvious implication of a particular scale. But then it also talks about, it also describes the less obvious implications. So you have a particular scale that's obviously implied, and then you have a less obviously implied scale, and then you have a even less obviously implied scale, and you have this whole like hierarchy of what's the most obviously implied and the least obviously implied. I'm going to be doing that whole thing just more broadly. So I'm using the leading chromatic concept, and it obviously applies to tonal harmony. That's what it's for. But it's less obviously applied to other music theory, and it's less obviously applied to other art, and it's less obviously applied to other things, generally speaking. You know, that's the idea. So I want to kind of do that with other, you know, essentially it's like recognizing a narrow, the narrow implication, then just kind of widening the scope to apply to more things. Something I want to do is taking inspiration from leading chromatic concept, also taking inspiration from my dearest friend Kandinsky and his whole idea of trying to expand the triangle of art and beauty. Okay, I got the answer. GPT did the thing. I've got everything from GPT. Everything into the right format. Just gonna read through it and make sure it looks good. Coast. That's interesting. So my average brew duration was 15 seconds. So I can get some statistics now because I'm doing this. Very weird. The average time between steeps was 8 minutes. Another thing I want to know is, I'll just ask it, how long was I brewing totally? Oh, I made a mistake somewhere here. So I'm going to ask it what the total brew duration was, sum all those numbers. And then I want to put the note, I want the notes to be a little bit more concise. So hints, the notes, and put them to a copy paste box. That makes it easy for me to copy and paste it in the right format, in Markdown format. Markdown format. I will post this to YouTube on a community post. Perfect. I think it worked well. Give me some suggestions for improving. Including a photo or a color chart for references. Oh, that's a cool idea. Use the Pantone color charts to approximate the colors. That's what it wants me to do. Track my times more precisely. Not doing that very well. Create a quick reference timeline. What does that mean? Listing each steep with the start time, steep duration. Okay. It wants me to do that to make it more clear with the notes. Just a better way of writing the notes. Suggesting that I actually read the template as I'm doing the tasting in real time, which I was partially doing, just not consistently. It's telling it's telling me I missed the rinse. It's very funny. I didn't do a rinse. I just drank the first steep, and it's telling me GPT knows that I should be doing a rinse. Better instructions. Clarify the purpose. Keep GPT informed of the next steps. Ask GPT to summarize in real time after each steep. Ask GPT to summarize. Ah. And then questions for me, it's just GPT just asking me questions. Am I primarily interested in capturing every detail, such as the mouthfeel, the aroma, and so on, or just key highlights? I think today just key highlights. How important is it? Is the precise timing to me? It's not that important. Do I want to integrate numeric rating system for the aroma and the taste and the mouthfeel? I think not. Do I plan on sharing these notes? Yes. I mean, it's mostly for myself, but I'm just going to keep the notes for myself publicly. Oh, and then should GPT have a brief section? Yeah, I guess summaries would be nice too. Okay, we got it all. Got it all. It's listed my it's listed music playing as a distraction, and then the fact that I'm late for work as a distraction. Not entirely wrong. I also just forgot that I do have to work today. And GPT reminded me, which I told GPT earlier, which is good. So thanks for the reminder, GPT. It's almost 10 o'clock. And I do have some things to do. I gotta do that. All right. Well, I got all my notes from GPT. I think this is I like it. I like this format. Still trying to figure out how to refine it. There's a bit more I can do to refine it. I'm sure there's a bit more to do to refine it. But I'm gonna post a community post on YouTube right now. Oh, I want a summary. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask it for a summary also. Provide a summary section. And oh, and also include all the body sensation stuff. All the meditative and pleasant feeling. I want that included. I actually completely forgot about. I completely forgot about all that. I had all the other things that I was mostly thinking about body sensations and such. But GPT completely ignored all that because it wasn't a part of the format that I included. So we're gonna add that back in there. All right, I gotta start cleaning up. So I don't remember. Was I just talking about validity and chromatic concept, or was I talking about John Vervaeke? I don't remember. I want to go further into the leading chromatic concept. I want to go further into John Vervaeke's four ways of knowing and applying that to art-related things. And then Kandinsky having something to do with beauty and this triangle of all beauty being applied to other people, being applied to what is appreciated, generally speaking. Could be for an individual, but also for other for wider audiences. And then there's a principle of optimism that I'm learning about from David Deutsch, which I like. Okay, hold on. Let me find this summary section. Body, feeling, mental distraction. Oh my gosh. More it's calling the pleasant sensations mental distractions. This this GPT is way more zen You know, Makio, just tricks of the mind, everything. Okay, all right, get you. Noticeable relaxation, more meditative. It's just relaxed. Okay, it'll do. Do for now. Don't need to keep improving it. See you later, bike. All right. Posted it on the community post. Anybody who's, you know, they got a community post. Anybody who sees community post, you'll see it. Just posted it. All my T notes. Feeling really good. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. It's been fun. Been real. Been real fun. I'll be back another time this week, probably. I'm probably going to be reading about gastrophysics. I think that's what I'm going to be doing later this week. Might be doing something else. Oh, I might go further into the John Vervaeke thing because I've been taking notes on John Vervaeke's 4 Ways of Knowing. That might be what we're doing this week. I don't know. Haven't quite figured it out yet. We're going to be doing something though later this week. I'll be back. Y'all take care. Enjoy the